Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 271. It is draft day, NFL draft day. I'm excited. Even though I don't really follow the NFL closely, I did a little more than usual this year. I am into the NFL draft. The weird thing is, I don't really follow college football that much either. I'll watch some big games. I'll have it on in the background. I'll watch big Badger games, but I'm really not a big college football fan. I'll be doing other things on Saturdays. I don't really follow college football. NFL, same thing. I'll watch Bears games. I'll follow along a little more so with NFL because it's in the winter and I don't have anything else to do. But usually in the fall, it's still nice, even up here in the upper Midwest. So, but I love the NFL draft because I follow the college players well enough. I follow the NFL, enough to where it's still fun. Like hockey draft, I could care less because I don't know anything about hockey. I don't follow the NHL. I don't even know where they draft from. So I follow the NFL draft. Same thing with NBA. I'm huge into the NBA, but I also like college basketball and follow it closely. And then I'm a huge MLB draft nerd. But with the NFL draft, I follow mock drafts on like a daily basis all year long. Like Monday morning, next Monday, there will be a too early 2022 NFL mock draft released by somebody, and I will be eating it up. And I'll be following all the mock drafts. They kind of trickle out. They'll have the too early drafts right after for 2022, and then it'll be a while. And then once things start kicking into gear, then you'll start seeing mock drafts. Obviously, we're far away from what that 2022 draft order will look like, but it's like these are the top guys for next year's draft and basically a ranking of how they fall. So I'm going to show I do a mock draft and I'll share my mock draft. Herman, good morning. What's up? Jeremy, Craig, George, thanks for joining in. Freddie Freeman, 4 for 4 against the Cubs bullpen. And then Anthony Rizzo strikes him out. That was so awesome. The Cubs are back to sucking. What's up, Zach? Good morning. The Cubs are back to sucking, and I'm in this Cubs Facebook group that's just unbearable. I need to just exit the group because it's like I've done a really good job on social media staying away from the meatball Chicago fans. Chicago has some of the worst fans. I'm sorry. Chicago meatball fans are the worst. Usually it's mostly like Bears fans, but there's a segment of Cubs fans that are just unbearable. And I've been able for the most part to avoid those people. But there's this one Facebook group I'm in. Somebody asked me to join, and it's just awful. And it's like every Cubs loss, they're the worst team, blow the team up. David Ross should be fired. The Yu Darvish trade was the worst trade in Cubs history. 1 month in, the 4 players we get haven't even had a pro minor league at bat yet. Chris Bryant hits a grand slam and the Cubs win. Oh my God, we're turning the season around. We're going to go to the World Series. It's fickle. I need to just, for my own mental health, just exit the group. Jeremy says we don't talk about last night's game. So I'm going to talk. I'll swing back around to the NFL draft because I'm going to share my mock draft with you. If anybody cares, probably not. It's funny that I know so much about Cubs players just from watching Bo. What's up, Brad? Good morning. So I want to, at the end of the video, because I'm going to have to move the camera around, I'll show off. I'm like basically complete with my card room renovation reorganization. I finished it up. I was able to get a bunch of packages done after work yesterday. And then I went to town, organizing, getting things a little feng shui so I can work better. And as I was doing that, of course, I can't resist going, and I did so, and I'm glad I did because I found some good stuff. So I was going through, so this was from a purchase. I've mentioned whenever I'm out of town, I'll look at wherever I'm going. I'll look on Craigslist for what they have Carc for cards. And when I was broadcasting softball, probably 2018 or 19, there was a Craigslist ad, Bloomington, Illinois, home of Mike Summer, Wax Pack Hero. There was an ad from a guy, and he like buys cases of like non-sports, and there was some football. And then he just, all the like base, he just sells in bulk. So what interested me was he had like 8,000 Cubs cards. And so it was a really good price. It was like $150, basically filled up the back of my SUV. A lot of like country music cards, but there were Olympics cards from 2016 Topps that I was moving a lot of those at a couple bucks a pop. Probably made my money back just on selling the Olympics cards. But there were soccer cards, and some other ones. But the soccer cards, I know nothing about soccer. I know nothing about soccer cards. I do know that soccer is heating up, the card market. So I decided I'm going to look through. I don't even know. Like, I could not tell you. I know Mbappe and I know Ronaldo and David Beckham. Those are like the three soccer players that I could name. And obviously the names had been pulled from these boxes. So I'm going to have to like do research. I pulled some prisms before, and I've got a bunch of prisms. The 99 cents each, and most of them sold like right away. So I probably undersold, but I don't care. They were soccer. Let's get them out of here. So I pulled all of the prisms out and put those on, but there's some Topps Chrome and some Panini Select from like 2017, 18. So I'm like, I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to do an eBay search. What's some of the base that's selling? What are some of the names? There was Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd. I'm like, I bet those were pulled because this is probably 18. They were pretty hot. The women's soccer team was hot at that time. They were probably pulled. No, they weren't. I think there were 4 Alex Morgans and 3 Carly Lloyds. So this is Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd. So I think there were 3 Carly Lloyds, and then those were Chrome that I pulled, and then a couple more Alex Morgan. So 4 Alex Morgans, 3 Carly Lloyds. I think the Carly Lloyds sell for like 5 to 10. I think one of the base Alex Morgan sold for like 20 plus. So that was a nice little surprise. And then, so this is going back, and actually this was also on a trip to Peoria, probably in 2016 or 2017. There was a guy, and I actually found his business card. His name was Larry, and he's from the Peoria area. He buys large card collections, and he sells all of the non-sports in bulk. And there was some good stuff. There were some like old Star Wars like sheets, which I thought would sell, and they didn't sell worth a crap. They probably do now with today's card market. But I sold off, and there were some sets that I sold for like $50. And I think I paid 50 for the whole lot. And then a lot of the stuff, there was a lot of like Coca-Cola from the 90s when they made those sets. There was a lot of like junk that is still sitting in boxes. So among the junk was 90 Marvel cards. There's a whole stack of them. Oh, but wait, there's more. All of these are 90 Marvel cards. So I'm going to go through those at some point in the next few days. I looked up, and I know this Wolverine was a decent card. This was Captain America. I don't do Marvel, but I will certainly throw those into my eBay store. So yeah, there's a whole stack, probably 200 or 300 90 Marvel cards. I don't know if there's a complete set. I don't know anything about them, although I do know that they sell well. Any Spider-Man. Probably. I've got X-Men versus the Avengers. Looks like there's a lot of doubles in here. Oh yeah. Acts of Vengeance, Nick Fury's Hydra, Sinister Six, Alpha Flight. Oh yeah, here's a Spider-Man. That's pretty cool. So yeah. Oh, Spider-Man presents the Hulk. That's pretty cool. So that was a fun find. because I didn't know they had those. I pulled a 90 score set out, pulled the Bo, I pulled the Frank. I had one other 90 score set that I must have already cherry picked. I found a Corey Seager Topps Holiday rookie, so that was a fun find. I found some Lawrence Taylor stickers. These are rookie year stickers, and these were all just in random boxes. Lawrence, that's 82. San Diego Chicken from what, 82, 83 Donruss. What else was in here? Some Joe Musgrove first Bowmans. A He-Man sticker. And these are I love these Slim Jim discs. Otis Sistrunk and Clarence Scott. So that's when you have so many cards and you don't know what's in the boxes. That's what I like about not knowing what I have. Some people hate not knowing what they have, but I love it because it's like a surprise. And then a few years down the road, those Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyds were probably 99-cent cards in 2018. Now they're not. Same with 90 Marvel. Those were junk cards a few years ago. Now all of a sudden they're absolutely insane. I said I wasn't going to buy any cards for the next month. That shit went out the window tonight. Welcome back, George. Glad to have you back. You should get the chicken TTM, only $1 for shipping, and it'll do you right. That is a great idea. I may do that. I may steal your, although you had the egg, the egg was great. But an autographed San Diego chicken card, that would be pretty cool. Let's talk draft, NFL mock draft. If you didn't catch the beginning, I said that I'm a draft nerd. So me and my buddy Kyle, we worked together at Western Illinois University back in 10 years ago already. I can't believe that. What's up, David? So he would host. He's a bigger draft nerd than I am. Although I don't know if he follows mock, because I'll like text him. I'm like, did you see this mock draft? And he's like, no, I haven't looked yet. And it's like, so he would host draft parties, and we would there'd be like 6, 8, 10 of us, and we'd do a mock draft. As I don't know if we worked in college athletics, so it was for fun only. So we put together these mock drafts, and so Kyle and I still will share our mock drafts on draft day. So I was putting mine together last night. I'm only I still haven't finished it. I've got to find some time to finish my mock draft. So I put together mine. I actually already made a change. So I think basically how we score our mock drafts, you get 2 points for spot and team. So number 1, Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, mark it down, Sharpie, that's 2 points. But say in a crazy world, the Jaguars trade out of that and they go to number 2 to the Jets. So say the Jaguars or the Jets move up to number 1 and they draft Trevor Lawrence, you get 1 point because Trevor Lawrence goes in that spot, but he doesn't go to the team that was in your mock draft. But say the Jets move up to number 1 and draft Zach Wilson, and the Jaguars are now at number 2 and they draft Trevor Lawrence. That's still 1 point because the Jaguars selected Trevor Lawrence, but not in the spot that you had them at number 1. So that's kind of how it's scored. So my mock draft, I have Trevor Lawrence number 1 to the Jaguars, Jets taking Zach Wilson, the QB from BYU. Then it gets murky. Then it's like, now what? Because I've heard Justin Fields is sliding, but I've got Justin Fields going to the 49ers at number 3. It would be the first time since 99 that 3 quarterbacks have gone 1, 2, 3. That was Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, and Achilles Smith. It also happened in 1971 with Jim Plunkett, Archie Manning, and Dan Pastorini. Only 2 times that's happened where quarterbacks have gone 1, 2, 3 in the draft. Quarterbacks have never gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's never been 4 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 of an NFL draft. And that's another thing that could be a first. Do the Falcons take a quarterback at 4 or trade down? And does somebody come in and take a quarterback at number 4? That could happen. Could 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5? That could happen. My mock draft, I don't have that. No mock trades. That gets too murky. So I just do a straight and take the chances there. I've got the Falcons taking the tight end Kyle Pitts at number 4. I've got, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Penny Sewell. He's a lineman. I've got him going to the Bengals at 5. 6 Dolphins take a wide receiver to help Tua. I don't have them taking a Bama guy. I've got them taking a LSU guy, Jamar Chase. I've got Devonta Smith, the wide receiver from Alabama. I've got him going next to the Lions at 7. I made this change on the fly because the Panthers traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Broncos. So I actually had the Panthers taking Patrick Surtain, and I had the Panthers taking Surtain at 8. I had Trey Lance going to the Broncos at 9. With that trade, I actually flip-flopped. So I now have the Panthers taking Trey Lance, and I have the Broncos taking Patrick Surtain. I've got Caleb Farley going to the Cowboys, Brad. Giants, I've got them taking a wideout, Jalen Waddle. J.C. Horn to the Eagles. I've got the Chargers going with Elijah Vera Tucker. Christian Darrisaw to the Vikings at 14. I've got the Patriots taking a quarterback, Mac Jones at number 15. Cardinals with Greg Newsome. I've got Micah Parsons from Penn State, him going to the Raiders. I've got the Dolphins taking a lineman, Tevin Jenkins. Washington takes Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And then the Bears, that's where I ended it. I've got to finish my mock draft. I've got the Bears taking a lineman, local guy, college-wise, Rashawn Slater from Northwestern, going to the Bears at 20. Of course, there could be a lot of trades. I hope the Bears trade up and get a quarterback. I don't see it happening. At the very least, I hope they take like a Davis Mills in the 2nd or 3rd round. But that's my mock draft. I'll share it on Twitter once I get it finished later today. George is going to be buying some Top Shots. Me too. I got my pre-registration in yesterday. So I'm going to buy some Top Shots. I've got a blowout sale on my Top Shots. I've got 3 moments remaining. I've got that Thomas Bryant numbered to 471. I dropped the price on him to like $30, I think. I dropped the price. I've got my Sabonis Cool Cats. I dropped that price down to like 50. It's crazy how prices have dropped on Top Shot moments. And then I've got a Josh Okogie base for $8. Zach, is the draft on regular TV or ESPN? I don't know. Oh, Brad for the rescue. NBC. Okay, awesome. And then ESPN and NFL Network will have their own. So I'll have to tune in. I like flip-flopping and hearing the different takes from the various NFL guys. So that's my draft talk. We hit on my cards that I found. Oh, by the way, tonight I will be opening all my mail. I've got a huge backlog. So that's going to be, I was going to mention this yesterday and I forgot. So my Cubs mail day openings will be tonight as I watch the NFL draft. So it's nice little synergy going as I'll be out in the rec room. That's where I've piled up all my Cubs mail, and then I can open it up and count it and add, because it's been, I think, 3 weeks since I've updated my Cubs count. So I'm getting closer to 600,000. Count is like 571,000 and change. I know there's at least 5,000 cards because there's a couple flat rate boxes out there. So there's probably, I don't know, 7,000 maybe. So I'll be getting close to 580,000 Cubs cards. Zach says, has Top Shot providing gone down because of the negative press? I don't think so. I think it's not a new shiny object anymore. There have been so many NFTs released since Top Shot. Top Shot was kind of like the first on the market that gained mainstream publicity. So I just think it's run its course, and it's not new and shiny now. Topps has NFTs, and look at where the Topps market is. Topps is up here, and NFT Top Shot are way down. So I think it's settled. I think some of those crazy prices, were inflated, kind of like Topps. I think those prices are inflated. They'll come down. Something new will come along, and it's not new and shiny anymore. Starting to normalize. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just the market settling. So how I found all of these cards, I was finishing up my cleaning. I wanted to get a little more organized, better organized. So I rearranged some things. So I'm going to move the camera. It's going to shake for a second. So so back here to the over, let's see, there, that's like all Cubs. And then down there, I've got quarter cards. Oh, you can't, I think, okay, I think that row might be quarter cards. So that's where I'm going to keep all my quarter cards just for easy access. And then over here, so that the top is kind of like my unopened stuff. And then down second, that where the stack of cards is. So that row is cards that are mostly quarter cards, but I still need to sleeve and put in the quarter boxes themselves. So, and then same with some of those boxes on the floor. So down here, okay. So over here, so this is my sorting table. I got there's my case of 30,000 penny sleeves. So that's my sorting table. I used to have it situated the other way, like long ways, but I wanted to do it like this way. So when I sort, I can look back at the computer, which is that way, and watch, you know, YouTube videos and whatever while I'm using the sorting table. And then underneath, I can put my stamped envelopes, bubble mailers, penny sleeves. And then I cleaned up over here. Okay, let's see. So over here, I've got, there's the cards I was showing off, my scale. And what I wanted, I bought that thing, that like shelving unit, so I can put my label printers on. And then I wanted to utilize the space, put the printers up top, and then underneath I can put my stamps. That's my 1 million Cub stamp. This is my return address, the small one, return address. And then this is what I use paper for, like the in the envelopes, for like the PWE cards. So that's what I did. I finally got everything situated, and I'm in a good place now. So Zach says, where do you look for price comps? A couple sites I used appeared to long heave that function out. So my price comps are strictly eBay. And that's because I basically only utilize eBay for my prices. So basically what I do is I'll look up, say, Carly Lloyd. So I'll look up 2017 select Carly Lloyd, and I do everything on the phone. It's so much easier listing on the phone outside of File Exchange. So I'll type in 2017 select into the eBay search, Carly Lloyd. And then I'll go to filter, show more. And then you can go down to sold items. Oh, didn't take sold items. And then sometimes you got to weed out because there'll be like those or PSA 10s and all that. So like when I did Carly Lloyd, there's like multicolor prism, there's auto. So it looks like here's one. It only sold for $2. So that was less than I thought because some of the Alex Morgans sold for a lot more. Here's one. It's a base Carly Lloyd, sold for $5 plus $4.80 shipping. So it's a $9.80. So I've got $2. I've got $9. That's a prism. So we'll go down. Here's another base sold for $4. So these are all over the board. So something like that where I've seen one sold for $4, one sold for $10, one sold for $2. I'll basically put it for $5. And then, you know, if I get watchers, I'll throw an offer out $3-4. So that's basically what I do. A lot of the stuff, like if it's commons, so like the non-sport stuff, it's hard for me to like I'll actually comp out this stuff because I don't know the market on soccer. I don't know the market for Marvel. But baseball, you know, I have a pretty good feeling, and especially once I listed a bunch of Topps Heritage Chrome refractors last week, and maybe I underpriced them because they were swooped up in like hours. So like I've still got a couple left, like Brandon Woodruff. I was putting these up for like $3-4, and I wasn't even comping. Like I was just putting them up for $3-4. And they all sold. So maybe I'll have to go back and comp those. Other stuff like base commons from like 74 Tops. 99 cents all day. Because it's just not worth the time comping stuff out like that, because likely there's going to be, a small range. And once you get to like 70 stuff, there's going to be like, okay, this is mint. Mine are not, they're going to be, this is way off centered. The corners are not sharp, but they're not soft, but they're kind of in the middle. So everything's like VG, fair to very good. So everything all day, 99 cents, free shipping on that stuff. So that's how I comp out. I just strictly use eBay sold. David, I have not used Terapeak yet. I'm stuck in my ways with my with the sold function. So that's kind of what I use, and so far so good. So I will look into it though. Eventually, fortunately, I haven't. So it was like I was listing as much as I was selling, so it was overwhelming for a period of time. And I was always buried with over 100 items to ship. I was caught up over the weekend, and then did some stuff, and obviously more stuff sells, but I haven't been listing as much. So that's why my sales are down, because at one point, I think the most items I had in my store, and of course, some of these are very, very a lot more actual cards in my store, but at one time I had like 40, I think the most I had was 4,200 active listings, and I'm down to 3,300. So, and that's, 1,000 in the last, and I've added cards, like I'll add 25 or 30 in a day, but I'm not adding like 100 or 200. And I'll go a couple days where, last night, I probably only listed one thing. I think I listed an old wrestling magazine, and that was it. But then like Monday, I think I listed 25 items. So I'm not like on File Exchange listing out a bunch of 99 cent cards. I'm trying to focus more on the $3, $4, $5 cards and up, wrestling magazines, not moving the 99 cents cards, because I was starting to have a lot of single 99 cent card orders, and that's not worth my time. It's like, is it worth your time? And that's going to depend on every single individual. Like I can't tell any one of you, is it worth your time to list 99 cent singles? Because it might be worth your time, and it might not be worth your time. In November, December, January, February, it was nice. I was reading David's comment where he said Terapeak is nice. It was worth my time in the winter months, but now as it warms up, I've got a yard to mow, and I'm gardening, and I bought a bike, so I'm riding, and I've got all these other things. Pretty soon I'll be going out for trivia and all that. So I don't have like all night to like ship anymore. So it's not worth the time for the 99 cent listings. And was it worth it during those months? For me, yes, because a lot of those sales were volume sales, where people weren't buying a single 99 cent 74 Topps card. They were buying like 20 of them. So it was well worth it, because I can just go through a pile and pull the 20 cards, boom, ship them in a bubble mailer and out. That's a nice $20 sale. Whereas if I have 20 99 cent sales, my net profit's like a nickel to a dime. And it's not worth it on a single sale basis. But that's why I institute the volume discounts to encourage, hey, if you buy 4, you'll get 10% off. Or if you buy 50, you'll get 20% off, to encourage that. You'll want to investigate Terapeak. Time is a factor. Terapeak is nice for stuff with fewer sales, as you can look back further. Got 200 picks edited last night. Get ready for listing this weekend. Very nice. I don't edit picks at all. I don't do any photo editing. The only thing I spend any time on photo-wise is a higher dollar card. And what I mean by higher dollar is if it's a hot player from Chrome, and if it's a Jerry Rice, like that Marvel Jerry Rice Spider-Man, I didn't waste much time taking photos. Even though I listed it for 100, I sold it for 50. Or like an Allen and Ginter, because it's not chromium. So I just make sure there's no like lighting issues. and I just take a picture on my phone. Boom. It takes me a couple seconds. No editing. I'm a little more careful with like a chromium, like a hot chromium card, refractors. In those instances, I'll put those in my shadow box, and I'll make sure I get the angle right so I'm not getting reflection, or if there is like a surface scratch, I can make sure it shows. That's the only time I'm spending any time doing in any like editing or up close pictures. Zoom in on them to crop. Yeah, I don't even crop. I just take a picture of Carl Lloyd might be a little different because there may be some shadowing because it's chrome. I'll just take it. I'll try to get the picture as close as possible, and boom, that's it. So that's how I roll. I gotta go check out Brad's channel next, Texas Card Dude. Have a great Thursday and enjoy the NFL draft. Madison Card Show is coming up May 22nd at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. Another new vendor is going to be there. You may follow him on Twitter, Ripping One Handed. Ryan's going to be setting up. He's going to have some cards for sale, also his book. And there's a feature on him at MadisonCardShow.com. So check that out. Offbeat All-Stars is going to be there for the first time. I've got a vendor spotlight for him up, MadisonCardShow.com. So check those guys out. I think we're up to 14 confirmed tables already, which is great because we're still 3 weeks away. So that's awesome. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great Thursday, and we'll talk tomorrow.